Hello, Vanya. Could you get divorced with my Gino for me?
Huh? Who is this even? And why do you want me to get divorced with my husband?
My Gino. You know who this is just by those words, right?
Is this Laura? Gino's previous wife? Gino told me about you. Wait, how did you even get my contact information?
Yes. So you do know me after all. It's not important how I got your contact information. You see, it's already been decided that me and Gino are going to get married again. Well, that's the situation, I guess, so hurry up and get divorced with him for me, will you?
Does this mean that even though Gino was already married with me, he got back together with you behind my back?
Yep. Which is why I need you to get divorced with him, all right?
You say that so easily, but this is the first time I'm hearing anything about this. I don't even know what you look like, Laura, which means that I don't know if you're actually Gino's ex-wife either.
Oh, so you're not going to believe me?
I mean, think about it. No one's going to divorce their husband based on what some random person told them by text. Besides, I heard that Gino and his ex-wife got divorced because she cheated on him multiple times. Why would he want to get back together with someone like that anyways?
Ah, so that's what's bothering you.
Is any part of what I said not true?
You see, when me and Gino were married, he would always tell me that he never wanted to get divorced with me. Probably because he fell for my high-level techniques. He never wanted to get divorced with me in the first place, but his parents, on the other hand, both of them were pretty serious people, and they were probably concerned about how it would affect their image if their son's wife kept cheating on him. Which is why they told Gino to get divorced with me, a wife that keeps cheating, and make me pay him an alimony.
Well, I guess that's how a normal person would react. But Gino himself never mentioned anything about this, although, if what you're saying is true, I understand why he never told me.
That's not it, though. You see, at the time, I was currently dating a CEO who ran his own company, and he kept telling me he wanted to marry me. I wanted to get divorced with Gino soon, who only had an average salary anyways. So it was the perfect timing his parents made him divorce me.
Is that so? I'll try to figure out whether what you're telling me is the truth, but thanks for giving me all this information.
Huh? What even is that? You're not even going to act surprised that your husband just got stolen from you?
To be honest, I am a bit shocked, but it's not like I know for sure yet. Like I said, I'm not about to believe what some random person I've never met says to me by text. While we're at it, though, I have one more question for you. It's about 6 years ago that you got divorced with Gino, right?
Yep. It's already been 6 years, huh? How time flies.
I see. You divorced him because he had only an average salary, right? Why are you suddenly trying to get back together with him 6 years later, then?
What? You seriously can't guess for yourself? It's because Gino became rich. Of course I want to get back together with him now.
What? Gino became rich? Where did you get that information?
There's no point trying to hide it to me, because I already know. I heard from an acquaintance of mine that my father-in-law, Gino's father that is, quit his job as an office worker and started his own company around 5 years ago. Not only that, but I heard that Gino inherited his father's company 1 year ago, and the company's been growing rapidly ever since.
I see. Please tell me more.
What I'm trying to say is that Gino's now the second CEO of the company his father founded, and a rapidly growing company at that, meaning that he's rich. You see, the Gino I knew never earned that much money, but he was handsome, so I forgave him for it. It was truly his only flaw. I always thought to myself, if only he was rich on top of everything else, then he would be the perfect husband. And apparently my wish came true.
I'm going to ask you directly. This means that you stole him from me because you were after his money, right?
Yep. I don't care what you say. Gino's mine now. I mean, I had always thought to myself that I would get back together with him if he ever became rich. So hurry up and give him back to me, all right? Oh, and Gino's going to pay for the alimony or whatever, so hurry up and get divorced with him, all right? Vanya, did you still not get divorced with Gino? You said that you were going to ask Gino whether what I was telling you was true, but shouldn't that be over by now? I really don't think this is that complicated, you know.
Hello, Laura. I asked Gino about it, and he admitted to cheating on me, but...
You see? Now that you're done, hurry up and get divorced with him. Or is it that you're just stalling?
Sorry, but it's really not that simple. And no, I'm not stalling.
What do you mean this isn't that simple? Your husband cheated on you and wants to get back together with me. Which means that I need you to get divorced with him as soon as possible. What could be more simple than that?
You see, if me and Gino are going to get divorced, it's going to affect the business at the company at least a little. I'm currently in the process of talking to him about what to do about it, and I invited his father to join our discussion.
Huh? So that's why it's taking so long? Ugh! This sounds like it's going to take a long time.
Yep. You see, it's probably a lot more complicated than you think.
Oh, and that reminds me. You work at the same company as Gino, right?
Well, yes.
Is that so? Well, I get what you're trying to say. It'll be difficult for you to remain at the company after you get divorced with Gino, right? None of this has anything to do with me, though. But still, it is kind of entertaining, I will admit. Not only did I steal your husband from you, but I also made you lose your job. That's kind of hilarious. I'm such a naughty woman.
That's not really what I was talking about when I said it was a lot more complicated than you think.
Whatever, just hurry up and get divorced with him. I'm going to give you one more week, Hey, answer my calls! Vanya! I haven't been able to contact Gino at all recently. Do you know anything about this? This was your doing, wasn't it? You know something, right?
Sorry, I didn't see your texts until now.
Finally, you replied.
Yes, I was still at work. Let me see. You can't contact Gino or something?
You know something about this, don't you? Don't tell me, but you aren't keeping him locked up in your home and monitoring him because you don't want to get divorced with him or something, are you?
It's not me that's keeping him locked up in his house and monitoring him, but what you're saying is mostly correct.
Huh? What in the world are you talking about?
It's not me who's monitoring him, but his parents. Gino's parents, that is.
Damn it. I knew this smelled like trouble. Hey, couldn't you have told his parents about it right after you two got divorced or something? Seriously, why'd you have to go and make things difficult for me? I mean, it's not like the company's going to collapse or something just because you're going to quit, you know? You ever heard the phrase, anyone could take your place?
Well, I'm sorry to say this, but there aren't any replacements for me at the present moment.
Huh? You think too much of yourself.
Anyways, Laura, I have some questions for you myself. You work at S Corporations, right?
Oh yeah, I just joined that company half a year ago. Well, I'm going to be the wife of a CEO soon, so I'm going to quit though. From now on, I'm going to live a life of luxury, and I'll never have to work a day in my life again. Wait, hold on. How do you know I work at S Corporations? Did you seriously hire an investigation on me or something?
No. Gino told me about it. Anyways, if you do work at S Corporations, then you must know the Tea Trading Company, right?
Of course I do. That's Gino's company.
Do you know that the Tea Trading Company is a business partner of S Corporations, the place you work at?
Of course I know. I mean, that's how I got reunited with Gino in the first place. I went to visit the office of Tea Trading Company with my manager, and that's where fate brought us together again. What's with all these weird questions anyways, huh?
Is that so? What you've told me right now is almost completely consistent with what Gino told me. Thank you for your cooperation.
And you're going to get divorced with him, right? If you don't get divorced with him soon, I can't become the wife of a CEO like I intend to, you know?
While I am going to eventually get divorced with Gino, I don't really think you're going to be that excited once I do. You say that you know the tea trading company, but you're seriously still talking about becoming the wife of the CEO?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Laura, have you not noticed yet?
What haven't I noticed? That you're even more of a hassle than I initially thought?
No. I'm going to ask you one more time, just in case. Who is the CEO of the tea trading company?
Gino is.
I see. This is just...
Huh? What are you even talking about, Vanya? Stop trying to act all calm and tough. You're the loser, so just accept it and give up. Gino's mine now, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I mean, you can do whatever you want with Gino after I get divorced with him, as long as you pay me the alimony I'm going to be asking of you. But I have something to tell you that might shock you. The CEO of the trading company isn't Gino.
Huh? But his father was the founder, and Gino's his only son, right? What do you mean he isn't the CEO?
It's one of your company's business partners, right? You really should at least know who the CEO is.
Oh my god. Are you seriously not going to give up yet? Gino's father founded that company, so of course his only son, Gino, inherited it after he resigned from his position as the CEO. Do I really need to explain that to you? Just because you don't want to give up your position as the CEO's wife doesn't mean you can lie and try to scare me like this, you know? You're even more pathetic than I thought, Vanya. Although I do understand why you don't want to let go of Gino.
Don't worry, you'll have him all to yourself soon enough. I've made my decision. You two are both getting fired.
Huh? Have you seriously gone crazy? What do you mean we're fired? Who are you, the queen or something? Hold on. What you told me yesterday was true? Gino isn't the CEO of Tea Trading Company? Not only that, but you're actually the CEO? Just what kind of dirty tricks did you do to get into that position? Hold on. Ew. You fucking pervert, Vanya. You seriously laid your hands on...
I am going to stop you right there before you say something extremely offensive. All I did was work hard as one of the company's employees. You see, in normal situations, my father-in-law would still be the CEO of the tea trading company. And there was also a period when he was planning on making Gino the next CEO, depending on whether he was fit for the job or not. But last year, my mother-in-law suddenly started getting hip pains, and someone needed to take care of her. That's why my father-in-law decided to take a step back from his position at the company and take care of his wife instead. He's now on the board of directors and still sometimes visits the company.
Huh? But none of what you told me right now explains why you became the CEO and not Gino.
I told you that he was planning on making Gino the next CEO, depending on whether he was fit for the job or not, right? You see, Gino's father's training of Gino to become the next CEO was abruptly stopped because his father had to resign from his position to take care of his wife. Which is why he instead decided to find the next CEO from one of the other employees in the company. Someone who understood well how its internal and external affairs worked. I was already working as one of the company's executives, which is part of why Gino's father chose me to become the next CEO.
Huh? You were one of Tea Company's trading executives? But you're still in your early 30s, right? You were chosen for an executive position at that age?
Well, it's true that your current reaction isn't exactly an unusual one, but... You see, I worked under Gino's father at our previous company, which means that I was actually acquainted to Gino's father before I was acquainted to Gino himself. He asked me whether he wanted to join the new company he was going to found, and I agreed, which means that I was one of Tea Trading Company's founding members. I was an executive at this company since it was founded, you see. That's also around when I started going out with Gino, since his mother introduced him to me soon after the company was founded. We got married a few months later.
Seriously? But Gino never told me any of this.
He never told you, or you never asked because you just assumed he was the CEO. Anyways, I think it would be better for you to think about what you're going to do about yourself from now on, rather than worrying about my past.
What? What are you trying to tell me? This can't be happening. I'm fired?
Oh, so you finally got word. By the way, Gino was also fired at Tea Trading Company.
What? Why? Don't tell me you got both of us fired just because he cheated on you, did you? Don't mix your private affairs with the office. Just because you're the CEO or whatever doesn't give you the right to do this to us.
It's not that I'm mixing my private affairs with the company's affairs. You two repeatedly used company cars to go on drive dates, right? Not only that, but you would often not come to work entirely and go to love hotels with said cars.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Not only that, but you two would use the business trips our company set you up on as a sort of vacation multiple times, right?
I said I don't know what you're talking about.
Is that so? But we have evidence in the form of footage caught on cameras set inside the company cars, so it's no use trying to deny it.
There was proof? Damn it.
Oh, and this is going to be unrelated to the company's affairs, but I'm going to make you two pay me an alimony for adultery. I'll be contacting you about this through a lawyer at a later date.
Huh? Oh, that's right. You were going to make us pay an alimony, right?
Like I already said, Gino was already fired from his job, so I think it would be best if you consider that alimony as something that you yourself has to pay. As I don't think Gino has that much money in his bank account either.
Vanya, forgive me and don't make me pay an alimony. I'll give Gino back to you, so let's just forget that any of this ever happened.
Sorry, but I don't want him anymore. Like I promised, he's all yours now.
But there's no point anymore now that I know he's not the CEO. Not only that, but he's unemployed.
But weren't you the one who kept bugging me to get divorced with him so you could have him for yourself? Well, that's all I wanted to tell you, so goodbye. I'm going to be blocking this account, so please contact me through my lawyer from now on. After Gino and I got divorced, he immediately went to Laura's apartment as his parents also wouldn't let him live in their house. But apparently, Laura already had another boyfriend. And I don't think I need to tell you what followed after was quite a scene. Despite now knowing that Laura had another boyfriend, Gino had zero intention of breaking up with Laura. But since Laura doesn't find any value in men who don't have any money, she ultimately threw him out of her house as well. To get revenge for this, Gino told the wife of Laura's other boyfriend about how her husband was cheating on her. And because of this, Laura was forced to pay another alimony on top of the one she had to pay me. I have no idea how this happened, but apparently Gino managed to make Laura sign some marriage papers and he turned those into the city hall behind her back. The kind of willpower he must have had to bind Laura into marrying him by taking advantage of her crippling debt. If only he was this passionate about his work as well. Laura instinctively knew that she wouldn't be able to get away unharmed if she tried resisting Gino. And so it seems that she now spends every day shaking in fear while also constantly being reminded of all the money she had to pay off.